Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow.
A lot of times we believe that our thoughts reflect who we are. And that is not necessarily true either, because most people, in fact, I would say all people, do develop habitual negative thought patterns that actually sabotage our performance and our happiness. We don't know that. We think that it's a part of who we are. Let's take, for example, a perfectionist, right? And I tell you, Evan, you know what? I just want to let you know right now that if I'm going to do this interview, I need it to be 76 degrees in the room. Okay, this is just how I am. This is just how I roll, right? And I'm believing that that is me and that is truly what I need to perform well. But what it truly is, a negative thought pattern in my head saying, if I don't control my environment, I'm not going to be able to do this well. It's a fear-based kind of a thought pattern.
But it kept you safe when you were young.
Exactly.
It's just that it's not necessarily helping out now.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. And there's neuroscience now, right? That is showing us that thought pattern, the more we reinforce it over the decades of our life, become hardwired in our brain, right? These neural connections, but it becomes a hardwiring in our brain, like muscle memory. It becomes habitual. It becomes a pattern. It becomes so automatic that we truly believe that that is who we are and that is what we believe, with totally being unaware that it's actually inhibiting our ability to have healthier and happier relationships and be more productive.
They are adaptive measures that are helpful at the time. Mm-hmm. And as it progresses, they are not necessarily helpful. So that's unconscious, right? Mm-hmm. When your intention and your impacts don't match, then that's unconscious at that point. Mm-hmm. And you can see that in the body. So like in 2019, I had a series of injuries where, from 2018, basically my wife got really sick. We didn't know if she would live or not. She's okay now, but that time was very scary. I had 2nd-degree burns. I got sick for 2 months, and then I broke my back, and I was immobile for kind of a while. I didn't want to wear the back brace because it was super uncomfortable that they wanted me to wear. And they would tell me no bending, lifting, or twisting. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. But it wasn't until the PT at rehab hospital said, look, if you don't wear this back brace, you see that kid over there? And it was a kid, well, kid to me is like 21 or somewhere around there, said, I'm looking at him, and this young man has ropes like tied around his legs, and he was grabbing it with his hand and moving his leg. Wow. Right? He was paralyzed from the bottom down. I guess a motorcycle accident. She goes, you have the same injury that guy has, and your vertebrae is right on your spine. If you do not wear this brace and you make one wrong move, you're him. And I'm like, give me the brace. And I was like, everything from there was do not move. Like, do not bend, do not lift, do not twist, do not move for like 8 months, right? And that was in there, totally in there. But you take it 2 years later, that was still stuck in there. So my flexibility was really weak because every time I would move I would automatically stop. It's not a conscious stop. My body just knew to stop. So that had to be a conscious effort to actually go into the body and retrain out of it and so on. But that's the exact same way with all of these other pieces that are there. At one point, being negative and saying, don't do this and so on was helpful. At this point in our life, it could potentially be not helpful. But until it's conscious, it runs you. If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.